My purpose was to change lives. Over a year ago, I invested into an Airbnb, just took out the lease in my name, put out the rent with my fiance, and we said, let's make money through Airbnb. Going through those learning phases and seeing what's happening on the ground, that's where I thought, you know what? Me coming here was to help other people who were just like me. The issue that so many diaspora face is, I want to set something back up home in Kenya, but who can I trust? You tell your family to send you money, we'll get the property for you, we'll help you, and they're stealing from you. Doing investing, failing, making mistakes, doing what we needed to do to be able to say, how can we build something back home? Because the money that I get in Australia, it's not huge money, but what I can do with that in Kenya could be amazing to set me up for the next 10, 15 years. Relocating in Kenya, being able to stay here 3 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year, and then you're getting paid and you've got income coming here because the money that you're getting from in Australia, in the US, in Dubai, these countries, when you come and bring that money here, you can do quite a lot and set yourself up quite well. Another week here in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm enjoying myself every single day. Nairobi is good. Iko poa. It's very nice. It's great. So many people, so many beautiful women. Yeah, Kenya really has beautiful women. The food here in Kenya is absolutely amazing. I mean, yeah, the food is just absolutely wonderful. Oh, naenda, I go to the kibanda. Sometimes have chapo maragwe, chapo na nyama. And my mother-in-law, she makes this fish. Wow. And the soup, like tilapia, just like a fish you've never tasted anywhere in your life. Life in Nairobi is amazing, So I, was born here in Nairobi, Kenya, Kenyan mother, and I don't remember much growing up here, but I left to Australia when I was 3 years old. Ever since I was young, I had an uncle, my mum's brother, Uncle Machuma. He always lived here in Kenya. So like anytime we'd come on holiday, we'd come see our cousins. And I always loved Kenya from a young age. From a little kid, I used to see them even at a young age. They used to kill the chicken on the road, kill the chicken, and then we'd eat it for dinner. I loved that. I loved seeing that. I never would see things like that in Australia. So now coming from Australia to coming to Kenya, for me, it's absolutely amazing because, the money that we have goes much further here. So we're able to do more things. So you live life more a little bit, I would say, which is interesting. I think like a lot of things in life, women, lead us to do many things, right? So when I was in Kenya coming here, I fell in love with a beautiful woman and Anyango. And then that kind of led me to come to Kenya more. Like I was already enjoying coming to Kenya anyway. Like, I loved coming to Kenya, man. Like my goodness, even, like being single, traveling, like Kenya was just always amazing. But yes, like fell in love with my partner. And then through that time, I'd always be coming here to Kenya. I'd always come to Kenya every year, see her, we stayed in an Airbnb, would go on holiday somewhere. So like that's what's always just brought me to Kenya. And now going and seeing my fiance and things like that and have my cousins here, man, like I love Kenya. There's so many things I do. I do content, just it's close to Europe and I like being close to Europe and also Dubai and just like the amount of things that I can just do, like it's really fun. So yeah, that's what Kenya's like for me. Well, Kenya's like quite, on the, I would even say quite bigger. Yes. I've been to Rwanda and much more smaller, beautiful, but yes, Kenya's much more bigger. It's the hub of East Africa, I've of course been studying in this space quite a lot, seeing the way so much population are moving here and people are coming to Kenya because yes, it's the hub of East Africa. So for me, it's always been an entertaining place. I love it. The food, like I always say, the food is amazing. And I think there's nothing better feeling than coming back to where you're from, where I was born. My purpose was to change lives because me falling in love with the woman, which I told that story earlier, a woman leading me here, it made me see, wow, there's opportunity here. So, over a year ago, I invested into an Airbnb, just took out the lease in my name, put out the rent with my fiance, and we said, let's make money through Airbnb. Going through those learning phases and seeing what's happening on the ground, that's where I thought, you know what? Me coming here was to help other people who were just like me. Who, my age and younger who say, you know what, I love coming to Kenya. And of course, even a little bit more older, I think, you know, age is just a number, but we're all young souls. So I have people my mother's age in their 60s, you know, even a little bit older, a bit younger, 40s, you know, who we love coming to Kenya. So the issue that so many diaspora face is, I want to set something back up home in Kenya, but who can I trust?
Sure.
You tell your family to send you money, or yes, we'll get the property for you, we'll help you, and they're stealing from you. So a lot of the diaspora, just like me, you know, who love coming back home, you know, they don't have anyone on the ground. I was fortunate. I had my fiance. So even doing investing, failing, making mistakes, doing what we needed to do to be able to say, how can we build something back home? Because the money that I get in Australia, it's not huge money, but what I can do with that in Kenya could be amazing to set me up for the next 10, 15 years. So, you know, the reason why I came here is I came up with an idea to say, you know what, let me help those other people out there who need this help, who want to have a foot on the ground. So we started our accelerator program helping, you know, Americans, diaspora, not even just diaspora, like one of our investors who joined with us, she's from Houston, but she loves Kenya. She loves coming to Kenya like so many other people do. We have other Kalenjin who are in Australia saying, hey, Sugira, I want to join on board with you because I trust you. So it's basically helping them now build up their portfolio of investing and really relocating in Kenya, being able to stay here 3 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year, and then you're getting paid and you've got income coming here because the money that you're getting from in Australia, in the US, in Dubai, these countries, when you come and bring that money here, you can do quite a lot and set yourself up quite well. Where I am now is at the moment, like I said, I did an Airbnb idea, right? Let's go get a place in Lavington, which was a beautiful place, and let's get it unfurnished and rent it out well. We did that. It was great at the start because it was just covering the rent. So I had a place in Nairobi that, you know, paying rent there, but the Airbnb bookings are covering the rent. Then we started to hit the slow season. No booking, boom. That was like the first month. It was around January, usually very slow season. And then after that, again, it started to be very slow. Yes, income was coming in, but we're not making a lot of money, really. We're just kind of breaking even, not covering the cost that I spent on furnishing. So during that time, what I was then doing was still building relationships with people and saying, okay, who can stay in my place, right? And so I met a relocation consultant, invited her on my podcast, and building relationships with people in Kenya, even while I was in Australia, to see, you know what, now when I have my unit, I can have a full-time tenant in my place, because that's how you make money. The way you make money, if you're renting out a place, you pay rent $600, but then you make bookings of $1,500, $1,800, and which leads to the other model, which I started to look into, which is where we are now. So again, it was, okay, who are people who are going to put tenants in our unit, right? Because now I'm going to be helping investors do that. So I met a relocation consultant, and then through that, now we started to get people saying, hey, Sugira, I want to do what you're doing. I want to move to Kenya. I want to get a property, imagine having 10 units that can bring me $14,000 a month. What would you do if you could have that money? So that's this pathway of what we're seeing, because like, that's just the biggest business model at the moment, right? Everyone's kind of really doing it. And it's just where the demand is. If you want to find a place, most people, you're going on holiday, you look on Airbnb, right? So did we do our research? We did on the ground, because we had stayed in Airbnbs all the time, right? Because we're in long distance relationship. What we could have done better, and that's why a lot of people doing this business are going broke. And I understand that. We in the world could say failed at it, right? Because we're saying, you know what, we're not making so much money from this. Why am I paying this rent every single month? Yes, we can break even, but we've got to, you know, really make some money. So we could have done more research in terms of, okay, let's not just rely on Airbnb. That is the most important thing. That's why I said I built a relationship with a relocation consultant. For those of you guys who don't know what a relocation consultant is, let's say you're Coca-Cola, you're a company, and you're moving to Kenya, East Africa, and you need your CEO, you need your team to live in Kenya, right? And also take their children there to move there. So, you know, so that's where we said, okay, let's not just rely on Airbnb. We rely on other people on the ground who are our referral partners. That's what a business is. I realized, because Airbnb, it's a business. It's a full-time business. So in a business, you say, how can I get clients? Well, I can get clients through not just going directly to customers, but who are people who go to where do my customers go to? If you can partner with that person, and add value, that's when what we're seeing is like, okay, then we can use that to put a tenant in our place, and then we can make our money. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, for me, our model is kind of veering away from Airbnb. Yes, we could do it, but ours is more going to companies.
Okay.
We imagine, because companies are moving here. Companies are the people who have money. What I've started to do is I've had people who message me and say, hey, Sugira, I see you're marketing this. I have a unit.
Yeah.
So what we're doing, all these people are coming to me and say, you know what, I look at their unit, if it's good and satisfactory, and we can even do marketing on it, I say, you know what, give it to me in terms of, if I get a client, I'll tell them you, and then give you, and then I'll take commission every single month.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what a lot of people who have already been doing this, a lot of people own places already, but now their issue is they just need tenants in there.
Yeah.
So a lot of people who are doing what I'm even talking about, right? Or they even put money, they've done it. But then the next part of it is getting tenants.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, is getting tenants. Sure. So that's what I think being on the ground, me for here in Kenya, is what is so valuable, because business is about meeting people.
True.
It's about relationships.
True.
So I've built relationships with the people that can put tenants in our unit, so we can see 1-2 year lease. Imagine you have someone, you've got a place, and they come to you for a 1-2 year lease. They pay 1 year up front, whether that's an unfurnished place, right? Or maybe you furnish it because it's going to be your home anyway. But then let's say we get you a 1-2 year lease. You get a 1 year lease. Someone pays you 1 year rent in once. That difference could even be $1,000. So let's say $12,000 there, right? Or you get a tenant that pays you quarterly, because when they're businesses, they either pay you yearly or pay you quarterly.
Yeah.
So that's, again, me through building relationships and saying, okay, I'm going to get my clients from relocation consultants, marketing, website, which we have, other agents here, being in like just relationships, Australian High Commission, these type of things. We have our places, but we can have tenant. I'm going to go live in New York. I'm going to go live here as I earn more income, but I've got 10, 15 units that I own, some houses as well, doing this model. We're here on the ground. We have a unit as well in Ngong Road. So no down deposit, fully financed, right? Set up a place. This is going to be the place I live while I'm here. We have this place in Ngongo. Yeah, we're still paying rent, but now it's right next to the stadium.
Wow.
2 minutes from the stadium. Really nice area in Ngong Road. We can put the rent cheaper, and then boom. Let's say we're paying $500 a month in rent, Australian dollars. So US dollars, that's like $300 a month in rent. And then let's now go earn extra because it's so close to the stadium. So Airbnb is a really great way. So in terms of building relationships with the different people, that's exactly why we're here, because now, we have this business model and we have the revenue. We know the rental payments per year, but then we have this connection, boom, stays, whether even we do short stays, but business, African company, a team, staff, business, football, it's quite powerful. So really just being able to position yourself so you're always in demand. For me, it's all about, don't just talk about it, but do it. Everything that we do, you can see it.
Yeah.
We're not just here to just talk about, no, everything that I'm talking about, go and look through my YouTube channel. As I'm doing things, I'm transparent. I'm saying this is the process I'm going through. Again, we've had clients who have paid us a significant amount of money to be able to be here on the ground and help them do what we need to do.
True.
And we are about what we are. We say how it is. We have that transparency, and we go to war, because most people say they're going to do something and they don't do it. So for me, it's not about what someone says they're going to do, but also it is good to look at the track record. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes you could be someone who's beginning, right? Like I don't have a 20, 30, 40, 50 portfolio, right? I've come and built this as a marketing company from being a professional footballer, helping people build their personal brands. And so being able to just be on the ground here in Kenya to say to our customers 4 months ago, the things that I was telling them, I'm telling them now. Things have changed, right? Things that we see and say, I come back to our investors and say, hey, maybe we've been looking about this wrong. We're not going to go and rent out a place. No, let's do this. This is more cheaper. No money down here. Well, we can get a property without putting our own, money than this place. Whatever's more cheaper, effective, but we can see that long-term growth, is quite powerful. So I believe, for me, it's about whatever you see is what you get. And so the proof is in the pudding about being here and doing it and really having that attitude that, this is what life's about. And I'm a living proof of that. I'm here living in Kenya, doing what I love every single day and being able to use the money that I get from Australia to build my wealth here, build my brand here and be traveling around the world, and they're seeing it. So it's really about that trust, you know, and being about it. It's risky. I lost. You see, my year, I didn't win. I'm not saying here like, oh, I made $10,000 a month. No, I told you guys, like, that's why I said, I looked and I said, wait a minute, I'm paying more money in rent and I'm still not benefiting from the cash flow. So I'm still losing, right? Of course, if I'm getting it full, okay, I'm winning. But, you know, if I still own the place, at least now, like, I own it. So if I am paying that rent. All right, cool. At least I own the place. So I'm losing on the other side. So the biggest risk is people fears like I'm going to lose money. Again, you know, the trust factor, right? I didn't have to worry about that so much, but the trust factor of like, who am I going to do this? There could be someone like me and then someone goes in and maybe steals your money or doesn't do what they say they're going to do. You know, so a lot of people lose their money like that with just the ignorance. So that's just the biggest fear is like, if I do this, is this going to work? And just being here in Kenya from the model that we had with our investors to the change of model, we're saying, hey guys, let's do it better, is also, that's such a great way because we go through the bank. You know, the bank does the financing. So it's a little bit, you could even maybe say more safer to really say. And then the advantage of having us on the ground is we're not just going to take any property the bank gives us. We're going to take the properties that we know through our relocation consultants, through our networks, that if we leave this place, if I want to, I'll go stay in Australia for 6 months out of the year or New York or wherever, you know, that if I leave this place, I can go and earn money and putting money in my pocket, being a business. That's our thing. So yes, those are risks of just, you know, pouring money into something that's not going to work. We were looking at the rent leasing model, but we're saying, you know what, now if I have the option as a bonus where Sugira comes to me and says, hey, we've got someone who wants to stay in your place for a year, 2 years, because I can put more money back in, plus get money to potentially say, hey, this is working, we're getting great demand, let's go get another one, right? And we don't have to put more money in there. We've got the equity, we've even got the cash flow, boom, let's go get another one, unfurnished or furnished, and we just keep going. By the time you know it, you have 20, 30 properties. And that's the best thing about being in Kenya, because like me being here on the ground, you now start to see more opportunities. And that's why I'm telling people to come on this journey. Let's say we're doing this and we're earning some cash flow through our units, right? But then now we can take that money, you know, now, hey, let's look, we go to Shags and I go to Shags and we see some business opportunities there. Yes, maybe we can set up a little hostel. Maybe we can buy the hostels that are already there. We don't even have to set it up ourselves. We go to Shags and say, hey, maybe we see something that has potential. We say, hey, we'll buy it from you. You know, we renovate it. Sometimes, again, could we loan it? There's just so many options because we're here and we're earning cash. You know, boom, maybe we'll just go buy a hostel there, develop it, make it nice, have some marketing, and that place in Siaya we always have packed. It's the number one little, you know, bed and breakfast, or you know, because people do travel all throughout the year still, right? So like, you know, that could even bring in an extra $6,000, $7,000 a month. Who knows, right? So I know I didn't see that. But when you come on the ground here in Kenya, when you can get yourself that first property, if you can, even some of you guys, and that's why this is a message for the young generation, that could be the, you know, really young generation, you know, come and live in Kenya. If you can come and work from home and you earn $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, come and do this. We'll get set up here, you know, and live here and go travel back in Australia. You've got your place. You know, you could even do Airbnb when you go travel. Who cares? Even if it's just your place, you don't need to do Airbnb. It's just your place. You've got a house. Boom, come to Australia 2-3 months, work. You got your place in Kenya, but then come back to Kenya. Until we can get Kenya to where it's so developed, then we can live here full time. But like, that's the life. And people just need to know about it. Like what I'm saying now, not many people are talking about it. Like I was just talking to one of our investors on the phone. She's like, not many people are talking about this. So it's just like, it's just more awareness. If people can see how much they could earn and what can happen. Like, again, a lot of people were just saying, hey, Sugira, just being able to have that, being on the ground presence. But like, go and see the possibilities of what you can, as I said, if you can go earn $1,200 a month and I'm earning $50,000, $60,000 a year, I don't have that much money. You know, for you to be able to go earn that type of investment in Australia or in the West, you need more money. You need way more money, right? But I could do that with my salary here, you know, even rent it out because I'm good on the ground. I can rent it out unfurnished or rent it out furnished because we spent time furnishing it because we made it at home, but we're going to go live somewhere else. And that can go and earn $1,300 a month. Who wouldn't want to do that? People would, you know, so it's just that risk and just the awareness. So it's people like me to be able to be the trendsetter to say, hey, man, I'm doing this on the ground here in Kenya. And guys, like, hey, I'm living life. So you can do it too. You can send a message. We have our Instagram pages. You'll be able to go in the link below. And we have a webinar that we're doing every single week. Come and join the webinar to see, you know, what's happening. I'm also putting it on my YouTube channel, vlogs of just going to different properties and showing people the process. So you guys come and, you know, come watch the webinar, come learn. We have so much content. And yeah, we usually then also have coaching sessions with people. And as I said, this model of what we're seeing is quite powerful. You know, the money that you have and you're earning in the country that you're in now, when you bring that here and show it, I'm telling you what you could do, unbelievable. Like I was talking to my dad and I said, hey dad, if you had $1 million, where would you live? Kenya or Australia? He's like, if I had $1 million, I would rather live in Australia, you know, than Kenya. And I thought about, he's right. Like if someone offered me $1 million or $5 million to live in Kenya or New York, I would rather live in New York than live in Kenya. Facts. But if I'm earning from like 40,000 to 200,000, would I want to live in Kenya or in Australia? Dad's like, I'm choosing Kenya any day of the week because that 40 to 200 grand, what I could do, that could stretch that in Kenya way more than I could in Australia. So that's really to break it down for you guys.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here and I'm sure you're going to love that one.